Welcome back to Magic Titans. We're here to talk about Magiccon Las Vegas, which we are just back from. We do have voices now, so I'm excited to talk about it and all our adventures. Of course, as always, if you want to see more Magic content, hit that like, subscribe, and ding the bell to get notified of all of the new content on the channel. With that, let's dive on in and take a look. All right, getting started. My name, of course, is Adrian Phillips, and I'm joined today by Bridger Hahn.
What's up?
And Melanie Phillips. We had an absolute blast this last weekend. Magiccon is one of the big events of the year for Magic players. There's 2 or 3 Magiccons a year, and generally one of them is, of course, in Las Vegas. It's an absolute blast. This was my first Magiccon. This was yours as well, Mel.
My first Magiccon.
This is your third now.
What? I've been to a lot of these.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you like magic?
A little bit. I like Magic a little bit.
That's fair. How does this Magiccon stack up against the other ones?
This is the biggest one yet. I don't know about the numbers, but I know that by the hall,
Right.
last year, Magiccon Vegas, we had an amount of the South Hall in the Las Vegas Convention Center. We had some downstairs and some upstairs, and this year they just took it all the way through to the other side of the building. So we basically doubled the space, and it was still packed. There were so many people. At least last year there were some table space problems.
Yeah.
I think there were no longer table space problems, which means we're in a good space of filling the entire South Hall of the Vegas Convention Center.
It was literally magic as far as the eye could see. Like, it would disappear into the horizon. Yep. It was amazing.
It was in fact so large that when we got there, we got to the wrong side of the conference center or the convention hall, and they're like, oh, just go down this escalator. And I was like, okay. Yeah. You descend into a Tron-like world in which there's 9 different Teslas, and they're like, where are you going, my friend? And I was like, no.
I was like, we are in the wrong place.
We didn't know there were options. We were like, I don't know, just the other side of the hall.
I just got in one.
I'm just trying to get to Magiccon, and they're like, get in. And then you like get on these tubes, and it's like you're going through like Magic Mountain or something.
Yeah.
And they take you all the way, the whole mile, to the other side of the convention hall.
It's very, very surreal, but we did come out the other side to the beautiful Magiccon with a ton of stuff going on. We'll talk a bit about what we did there, events that we played in, and also things that we picked up. For us, this was kind of the first day, was exploring and shopping. Yep. So I just want to talk about things that we picked up. What was your favorite thing that you got, Mel?
It's a tie.
Okay.
I got a hive, a new hive. Did I need it? No, it's stunning though. It's my favorite character from Bloomburrow, which is Maha, and it's the card Dawn's Truce, and it's just stunning.
It really is.
I'm sure you're seeing it here, and I also got it engraved with the Magiccon logo and my name. So super excited.
That was so sick.
Do I now need to get entirely new deck boxes
to
fit in this? Yes.
That's how they get you, you know? I mean, I'll take your old ones. I do really want that pink one that you have. So.
It's yours. It's yours, my friend. And then the second thing, I got a really beautiful art print by an artist I really like, and I agonized it all weekend and finally got it, so super excited to have that up on our wall soon.
Definitely worthwhile.
What about you?
For me, I got a really cool playmat from Lena Richard, who does a lot of amazing fairy work. And so this was actually the Bitter Blossom mat, and then I also got another mat by RK Post with some really cool stylings on like traditional Pokemon, but in like a creepy way. And I've followed him like since I was a kid, like started learning how to draw based off of his things.
Right.
So that was very, very cool and very fun. What about you, Bridger?
Well, I had sworn off playmats. Coming to this
This is true.
This Magiccon, I said, I have like 60 playmats. Every time I go to one of these, I get artist signed playmats. I need to stop. And then I had some eventful nights in Vegas.
Did indeed.
So I did end up getting more playmats, but I gave them to people. No more playmats for me. But I ended up buying some of these cool new acrylics. Some of the artists are putting their print on a metal sheet and then burying it in acrylic, which gives it kind of a cool mirrored effect on the outside.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I bought almost all of the acrylics at Magiccon.
You definitely upped the ante from playmat.
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, instead of a playmat, I'm gonna get an acrylic brick.
This can't be a thing.
No.
It's definitely a new aesthetic in your house for sure.
No.
Just your whole bathroom is just acrylics. You're like, oh, there's Emrakul and me just in the bathroom.
I mean, the Emrakul is super cool.
That one's my favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
But very, very cool, very classic art. Which is one of the cool things about these conventions is you get to go see all the artists that you know and you love and get things signed by them, support them directly, maybe get some artist proofs. It's a very, very cool experience. But of course, we didn't just spend money there. We also got to play lots of games of cards. Of course, as you might have heard, we have been venturing into Modern recently, with this one winning his very first constructed event and some Modern art to go with that. This time we played in the Secret Lair Showdown, which is a single elimination Modern constructed event. And oh boy, the competition was something fierce.
Yeah.
I took some Murktide, finally settling on non-Oculus version, which I do still feel good about.
Nice.
And I had a fantastic game against Krista, round 1, with a Hollow One deck, who she played really, really well. I sideboarded a little bit incorrectly, I think, and lo and behold, I got knocked out round 1. But ultimately, I wanted to go and participate and sign up and go through the practice, and like I knew I was expecting to get knocked out round 1. I did, and I'm honestly happy with that. And I was able to then play an on-demand Modern event after that, and actually do much better.
Oh,
so
nice.
It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is part of the Modern experience, is running into a deck you've never heard of and never seen before, and not knowing how to sideboard or even what they're trying to do, and losing as a result.
Yeah.
It's such a wide and deep format.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, she was like, oh, normally I play Tron. I'm like, yeah, I would have really preferred it was Tron. I'm great into Tron. But it was cool. It was a great experience, honestly. So I'm very much enthused and excited about playing more Modern and practicing that format. So it was a long time leading up to that over the last month. But that's kind of what I wanted out of that format. Yeah.
It is such a cool format. I also played in the Secret Lair, and I felt really bad. We had over an hour of delays leading into the event.
Yeah.
So everybody was really bored and like uptight, and we started round 1, and I'm on Amulet Titan, which is a deck that tries to do unfair things with lands.
True.
And I turn 3 killed my opponent 2 rounds, like 2 games in a row. And so we were done in under 10 minutes, and I felt really bad.
You monster.
That's Modern.
That's how I, like, whenever I hear, there are things that, like, I know, like, you don't touch people's lands, you don't, there's certain, like, you don't do things, and all of those things you do in Modern.
We do all those
you
things,
do all of them.
There's no holds bar.
Yeah.
It's
You hold them underwater until they stop.
it's just horrific crimes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so fun because it's so harsh. Yeah.
But you're not kidding. The competition was fierce.
It was very, very fierce.
I learned
You did, yes.
in practice that a lot of the Worlds players that lost in Worlds, this was day 2 of Worlds, just decided to sign up for this.
Just casual Secret Lair Modern event.
Yeah. So I paired with one of them round 2, and it was a mirror match. Amulet Titan against Amulet Titan.
Oh, so you got to see how they did it better.
Okay, wow. All right, Mel. He and I were on different builds of the same deck and disagreed about which was better, obviously. I turned 3'd him round 1.
Oh, wow.
Or game 1.
Yeah.
And I was set up to win game 2, and I just fumbled on the combo.
No.
And he ruthlessly slaughtered me in game 2 and 3.
Dang.
Very, very good opponent, and I was impressed. I learned a lot about how to pilot my own deck from my opponent, and I was pretty tilted the whole weekend that I screwed up the combo and
he kept
lost.
bringing it up. He's like, I had it.
We would be like eating dinner or something. He'd be like, I was so close.
But I have no doubts that I would have lost in round 3 because that field was strong.
It was vicious. Yeah. But again, very fun. It was a great time. We played some other events. Mel and I played the next day in an on-demand 2-headed giant draft, which was a blast. You want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, it was super fun. It was a mystery box draft, which, like a journey through these cards.
Oh my God.
You're just like pulling cards. You're like, oh, okay, that was from my childhood.
Right.
And then you're like, that is a hand-drawn nonsense. But it was really fun because we got to draft together and we ended up like pulling cards. And Adrian and I generally play very similar colors. So it was very interesting. And I ended up drafting red-white, which was shocking.
Yeah, pretty wild. You can't go wrong with red-white, honestly.
You can't. It was great.
Yes, we had close games. In pretty much all our losses, we were 1 turn away from winning, and another person won. Minsk and Boo is a heck of a card.
Yeah, that is, but then again, we did do that double turn. We double turned.
Seed time was amazing. I was like, we have to put seed time. And then Bridger and Sam were walking by and they're like, oh man, everyone tries to take seed time when they draft it, but they never actually play it. And then literally the next game, we actually got to seed time against our opponents. It was amazing. So it was just, I was really taken by how kind and excited and just nice everyone was. You know, I had just only good experiences with talking to people playing in our games.
Yeah, that's kind of a big part of Magiccon. It is Magic the Gathering, and so they get just a bunch of people together who are excited about this game that we love, and we all get to share that experience. And I think that is the best part of the convention. Going into this, like everybody's first Magiccon, they sign up for a ton of events, and then they're super tired and they go back to their hotel and sleep. But after enough Magiccons, you realize you got to pace yourself. And you got to start doing some of these after, you know, once the hall closes, there's still Vegas full of nerds.
Oh yeah.
So you get to hang out and meet all these cool people, socialize.
You got to do some LobbyCon for sure.
LobbyCon is the best.
And that was one of the cool things, honestly, is like making new friends and of course meeting old friends again. So we got to hang out with Pleasant Kenobi.
Here's the video. B-roll.
And actually played the party box.
Magic Liam?
That was Magic Liam.
We cannot call him that.
No, you will. That was almost one of the first things we did. Like we got there, we got lunch, and then he was like, "Hey, you guys want to play?" So we were in Creator Central, and that was an absolute blast.
Yeah.
It was so wild.
Party box is awesome.
We need to make our own party box, honestly. It's party box time with Pleasant Kenobi. It's a pretty wild game. We've seen Yu-Gi-Oh cards, we've seen Pokemon cards, we've seen Flesh and Blood. It is a great and hilarious time. Something else just happened, I think. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check it out. Oh, he's the Monarch. Oh, classic.
Somehow I draw a Power Ranger card, a Pokemon hash QR code to like redeem your deck online, and I'm just like looking at Vince like, what?
We had like all normal cards, generally speaking, and then Mel was just like, what about this card? What does this do? And it's like, oh, this is like a loot from like Flesh and Blood, or they had a Pokemon booster.
Oh, you don't know the loot from Flesh and Blood? It's just a better Howling Mine. How did you not know that?
What can I say? That was really fun.
The best part is, I won.
GG's. You did, actually. You beat Vince in the final hour. He had a rules lawyer, so he literally could not lose the game by having negative life or whatever, basically. And Mel, like, in the last moment.
Well, because he did that card that we kept getting to play things.
Oh,
and
that's
so
right.
I needed enough lands to get off of Putrefy. And so he ended himself because he was just putting up enough blockers. And I was just like, well, here's 4 lands, instant, and Putrefy.
It was so good. So that was an absolute blast. Great catching up with Vince. And of course, we got to hang out with really cool people like at game nights. We got to play with, of course, Commander at Home folks. It was just a blast meeting new people. And again, just kind of struck by the kindness and the enthusiasm of everyone in the community.
Yeah, big shout out to Vince for introducing us to all of these wonderful people, all the big names in Magic. We have a lot of friends. Next time I'm going to LA, I'm gonna see a lot of people.
Yes, it was so cool. I was also surprised a couple people that I didn't expect to see there that we actually ran into. We ran into Mengu in between rounds very briefly, and I'm pretty sure you insulted him by asking if he was trying to qualify. Yeah.
This is not what I meant.
Right, Mengu, I don't know this man. I don't know him. Don't reflect that on me.
Congrats on top 8ing, Mengu. I knew you could do it.
And then Ash Lizzle was there, which was very cool. She is kind of the reason that I play so much Golgari now, was from that. And of course, Simic Cookies. So it was just like cool to see these people that you like look up to and you like watched all the content. So
yeah,
it was very cool.
We got to be so nerdy. We were just like,
we did, yeah.
And like these people ended up like hanging out with us and like taught us how to play other games.
Yeah.
I was taught how to play other games. That did happen.
Was very successful.
I acquired a lot of chips.
And then bought a lot of acrylics.
Yep. I even ran into some fans and friends of the other thing we play, 40K, while I had a work conference. And so I was flying from my work conference to Magiccon. So I'm like in a suit and I walk up and I see people, they have their little like deck box. I'm like, oh, are you going to Magiccon? And they're like, yeah, are you on the internet? And I was like, nope.
No.
They're like, are you sure? And I was like, okay, yeah, I might be on the internet at some point. And they were like, yeah, we remember you from back in the garage.
Yes.
So it was a very quick 180 when I was like looking to see like.
Yeah, you went from like work mode to like Warhammer mode into Magic mode. And that was cool. There was a surprising number of people that also knew us from 4K as well. We got to sign a graded custodian card, which was very cool.
They were trying to look for you.
What?
Yeah, they were looking for you. You were playing in a different event.
What?
Oh, they didn't find you.
I didn't even know.
It's like perfect for you too.
Oh.
Well, next time, find us.
Hey, find me.
Next Magiccon.
Mail it to me. I'll mail it back. I promise.
Promise.
I promise.
Honestly, it was just an amazing, amazing time. So with that, some final thoughts. Of course, a question I think a lot of viewers will have is, should they go to Magiccon? Short answer I'd say is yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, our friend Nick went, and he just like, one just showed up and didn't tell us.
Yeah.
Nick. But the on-demand was so easy and so accessible. Like, if you wanted to, you could just sit down and play any type of Magic format that you could possibly think of. It was quick and it was fast.
You weren't planning on playing in any events. You ended up doing it basically as soon as you saw how chill it was.
Yeah.
You know, I think it can seem scary, but it's very, very relaxed. And it's whatever you want. Just go hang out, buy some cards, buy some merch, play on demand. You could do ticketed if you want. There's of course the shows and everything, the reveals. There's just so many ways to go about it, and there's no wrong answer.
Right.
So if you are intimidated by it, don't be. It's 100% worth the trip and worth just like seeing this awesome community.
Of course.
And of course, let us know in the comments below if you have more questions about Magiccon, if you want to see more event recaps, and in general, what kind of Magic content do you want to see on Magic Titans? With that, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.